Surviving infidelity. My wayward wife walked in on me having sex with her coworker while we were separated. Why do I feel guilty about the situation? This is my first time on Reddit, so I don't know on which sub to post. Me, 35 male, and my wife 37 female have been married for 10 years. We have 2 kids together. Our marriage was pretty much good with normal ups and downs. In September 2020, my wife had a 2-week-long fling with one of her coworkers on their business trip. She came back pretty normal, but acted super clingy. About 2 weeks later, while I was watching Netflix, messages were popping up on her phone. I looked at the phone and saw that her sister was messaging her. I thought of replying her back, so I opened her phone and saw the conversation between them, which discussed about the mistake she made at her trip, and how she was remorseful about it. Her sister asked her to tell me about everything, but she denied it and said that it would break my heart and family, so she would not tell me but rather become a good wife and would always make up for it for rest of her life. I was devastated, and felt numb to my heart. My wife came in the room and I confronted her at that very moment. I was shocked and asked her about the situation. She started crying and remorsing, and how the death of her grandmother had affected her and she was vulnerable at that time. All cheaters BS went on, but I knew that I wanted divorce. I took a drive to my brother's house to calm down. Next morning, I shifted my things to my other house and told her that for 6 months we are living separately, and I am filing for divorce. Before divorce is granted, couples have to live separately for a period of time in our country. I moved out and started doing my own things. I started focusing on myself. Going to gym, eating healthy, and also joined X clubs. We married at young age. While my wife had her fun before marriage because she had a supporting family, me and my brother had struggled during our early times. Our parents died when we were young and we spent our childhood at an orphanage. So, I had to provide for me and my brother while completing my education. I pretty much spent my entire teenage and early 20s establishing my career and creating new sources of income. I thought that I made so many compromises to stay faithful in marriage, while she easily gave up vows and got laid with another man. At the X Club, I made several FWB relationships with several women. While I was doing my fun, my wife was considering this time apart as her time to show me that she will become the best wife. She left her job and found a new job. She started dropping my favorite food at my workplace, sending me love notes along with flowers, doing laundry when she dropped kids at my house. She had no idea I was seeing multiple women. By the end of October, I dropped the idea of the X Club, but continued my FWB relation with one woman, Jay. She was in her early 20s, was attractive and had good skills. In early November, my wife started asking me out on dates, which I turned down a few times. But she kept insisting, so I went on date with her. It was like we were in our 20s and we were falling for each other again. We went on several dates, but I continued my FWB relation with Jay. I was confused whether to give her another chance or to give her divorce. Yesterday morning, my wife asked me out on date again, but I refused since I had plans with Jay. I went to her house and we started doing our thing. We usually walk around naked. At evening time, we were just kissing on the couch and grinding on one another naked. My wife walked in on us as she was dropping some files to Jay. At first, she was just standing like a statue, but few seconds later, she dropped the file on floor and left. I could see hurt in her eyes. As soon as she left, I asked Jay about their relationship. She told me that they are co-workers. I was overwhelmed with guilt and left Jay's place. At night, I arrived at my house where my wife was playing with the kids. As soon as she saw me, she hugged me tightly and started crying. I could see the hurt my betrayal did to my wife. She said that she destroyed my high morals and she is the reason I slept with other women. I comforted her and we ended up sleeping together. This morning she left a note alongside my bed saying, "Just give me one chance to make this relationship better and be a part of your life. We could make our family better and recover from this. Let's start fresh and forgive what happened in the past, and be faithful to one another for rest of our life. I just want to spend rest of my life making up to you." I am confused what to do next. For past 2 to 3 months, she has done a lot to prove she is remorseful and want this relationship. I am feeling guilty how I have treated her for these months, and how much she would suffer in her job by seeing Jay almost every day. Anyone here who has been through this situation? Any advice? Now for the top advice. How about that? Don't make any decision now. Take care that you have a weekend of time with your wife, without the kids. Have an open and honest conversation about you two. Where you stand right now, how you feel about each other and what you want from each other. Find out what it was that brought her to cheat on you. Why she hasn't sought comfort in your arms and instead in the arms of her co-worker. Only by finding out what brought her to cheat, you will be able to prevent the situation to come up again. How was her relationship to that coworker before that trip? Was it planned or did it happen spontaneous? When you had that talk, then go to a counselor together and get help from there. After a month or two, have another conversation where you talk about where you stand right now and how you want to go on. In addition, both of you should visit a doctor right now and in 3 months, to get tested for STDs. Good luck and stay strong. Thanks for the advice. The one thing that really concerns me and that you need to work out is, if she is really regretful for what she did, or if she only feels regret because she got caught. Even her sister told her to come clean and she decided that she doesn't want to. If you wouldn't have checked her phone, you would still know nothing, and her? How would she be? Happy that you didn't found out, or regretful for what she did? Bruh, you didn't cheat, she did. Why do you feel guilty? She opened up the marriage. She can't expect you to not have ex while separated. I know it's easy to pile on the wife, but dude, he did dangle reconciliation in front of his wife while boinking the co-worker. Cheating issue aside, it's wrong on every level. During the separation phase, he is not obligated to stay faithful anymore, but he either been honest that he was seeing someone, or denied her that date. I know it's a lot to ask, especially in times of pain when you just want to drown your emotions out. But we got to be better, don't we? Otherwise we are just as bad. Also, now he is even more mentally effed, because he is now a confused mess. Your wife certainly sounds remorseful and is trying to make it work, but there are a few things to consider in your decision. Are you absolutely certain that this is her only affair? Ask her if she is prepared to take a polygraph test and gauge her reaction. Having the fling for 2 weeks is troublesome. This was not a one-time slip-up during that time. Are you prepared to be worried about what she is doing when you and her are apart? Do not just forget about it, as she states. That will not allow you the proper time to deal with her infidelity. If you do not process it properly now, it may just resurface many years later. Good luck in your decision. Thanks for the advice. Definitely need polygraph to confirm her story. Now for the next story. I, 41 male, found out my wife, 39 female, cheated on me because of 2020. I'm on the security team for a major TV network. She's in finance. We met in 2012 right after I eased from the Marine Corps. She was volunteering at the VA for her firm, giving financial advice for vets who just came home, and we felt a spark when we met. Spark turned to flame. But I'll spare the mushy-gushy stuff. I've been essential since the pandemic started. When news crews are out and about, I'm the guy protecting them. So, through all of the crap that's been 2020, I've had a front row seat. Because I've got to be on the ready to go on assignment, naturally this means I'm not home. Haven't been home in the sense of not just making pit stops in months. Between covering COVID, the protests and the election, it's been a whirlwind of traveling for me this year. And evidently, the wife, or I guess it's soon to be ex-wife now, apparently got lonely, and started shacking up with this young guy who works in her building. Not the same firm, but they in the same building. From what she told me, it just kinda happened. Sorry if this is disjointed, but I'm still kinda seething at the moment. Okay. Here's how it went down. I've just finally settled back into my old schedule locally. We're in NYC, since the election ended. Like I said, I've rotated home a few times over the last few months, but never for more than 4 days, before I have to hit the road again. I had no inclination there was anything even happening. 3 days ago, she texts me that she had something important to tell me. So, I come home from work and she's waiting for me in the living room. She doesn't waste any time. She tells me she's had an affair for the last several months, and that she deeply regrets it. She says she was weak and lonely. She'd come home to an empty apartment and feel depressed and angry. And that this young guy, she says he was 29, started doing things to try and cheer her up. They'd see each other in the deli she got her lunch from, things escalated into an emotional affair, and then a physical affair. She says she wasn't thinking of the consequences, she was just living in the moment. All this and more, with waterworks set to full blast. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there completely numb. She tells me she ended it with the dude a month ago, after realizing how selfish and deceitful she had been, has gone no contact with him and even offers to give me her phone, so I can take it to my tech guy best friend to check the records and prove she's not talked to the dude. I couldn't say a word. I sat there silent for a good 4 minutes staring blankly at the floor trying to process all of this. It's her next words that made me snap. Baby. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve this. You've been the perfect husband and I betrayed you. I haven't felt that kind of rage since Helmand Province. Context: my platoon saw heavy casualties in Helmand. I buried 3 brothers who didn't come home alive, and another of my brothers is physically and mentally destroyed by what we experienced there. I flew up out of my seat, grabbed it and heaved it across the room. The growl I let out was guttural. It's like I could see this all happening in third person. It's her shriek of terror that snapped me out of it. I looked down at her and our eyes meet, tears pouring down both our faces. I grab my bag and leave. No words. I just leave. That was 3 days ago. I'm typing this on my phone in a motel. I've got a ton of PTO, so I called in a couple days. I'm still trying to process this all, but one thing is certain. It's over and I can't go back. To her. The apartment. To the last 8 years I devoted to making her happy. Not after this. Not after showing a glimpse of the darkness I still keep buried in my soul. I'm a freaking wreck right now. I guess the one saving grace is, she cared enough to tell me. But I can never see her as my wife anymore. And I couldn't be a husband to her after such an explosion of rage like that. She's been blowing my phone up. 873 messages and counting. Her mother has called. Her sister too. So has my brother, real one, not jarhead, and my best buddy. I'm completely off the grid, and I need to stay that way until I figure this out. I know what I have to do. There's no return from this. I've got to end the marriage. I guess I just needed to vent, and this seemed like a good place to do it. And for anyone. Specifically my fellow servicemen/women. I'm okay. I'm not going to check out, I'm too salty to do that. I just need to get buttoned up before I make me next move. If you read this far, thanks. Now for the top comments. Get out, brother. Get a lawyer and go no contact. Don't take the risk to let that darkness take over. No need to see or interact with her ever again. We can be a place to vent and listen. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you got to. We'll be here with you, brother. Sorry I forgot to add for the bottom there. Too salty. Thank you. You never think this crap will happen to you, until it does. My mind is all over the freaking place. I mean, I gave her everything. I got into her interests. Our intimate life was off the charts. What possesses a person to do this when they already have everything they want and more? The "it just happened" excuse is complete BS, and yet it's used over and over again. You don't just happen upon someone else's genitals by accident. It takes multiple steps that give you ample opportunity to hit the brakes. Cheating is a decision, not an accident. You were smart to get away from her. Take as much time as you need to cool down, so you can plan out your next steps with a clear head. Please don't hesitate to lean on family and friends for support in a time like this. You should also schedule an appointment with a lawyer to find out what a divorce would look like for you. I'm sorry that you're here. This isn't a club that any of us chose to join, yet we're here. Good luck to you and thank you for your service. Thank you for your kind words. They mean a lot. This is just BS, I was lonely, it just happened, it was an accident. Like, did she trip on a banana peel and fall on some guy's genitals? What the actual F? I'll echo others here. Get a lawyer. Now. Get in touch with your family and buddies and lean on them. You would be there for them in a similar situation, right? So, let them be there for you. If the attempts to get in touch do not stop, then maybe let her family know that you are not in any way interested in hearing any more from, or about your soon-to-be ex-wife, and that your lawyer will be in touch. As someone who was also cheated on, you have my sympathies. And my thanks for your service. Don't let this drag you down. Someone better will come along and will cherish you like you deserve. I'll do all of the above. Talking to my tech buddy on Skype as I type this. Now for the last story. The man I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with cheated on me and dropped me because I was against being in a polygamous relationship. I don't know how to start this, but all I got to say is that, I am extremely heartbroken and devastated. The man I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with revealed to me that he is talking to another girl and that he is starting to catch feelings for her. We have been together for 2 years, he was constantly on and off with me, and kept asking for space because he is too overwhelmed by his personal problems. I believed everything he said and always gave him benefit of the doubt. Turns out he was lying to me. During those periods where he would ask for space, he was apparently entertaining another girl who he met on a dating app. He did admit to me before that he had commitment issues. I was the best partner ever, There has been nothing that I have ever failed to do for him. I put his wants and needs above mine. I made sure he was always happy. I sacrificed so much of myself just to make this work. I stood by him during the ups and downs. I gave him too much of myself and he gave me too little in exchange. I gave him my heart, my soul, my mind. I was a fool. I hate him for putting me in this pain. He decided to throw me and all memories away for someone he met so recently. He begged me not to block him or disappear from his life. He begged me to stay, but I had to leave. I can't stop thinking about how he is getting flirty with this girl and how he sees a future with her. I can't stop thinking about how he is attracted to her. The moment I knew about it, I asked him to block her and stop talking to her. He said no, because she is a cool woman and he wants her to be his second girl. We had a talk about polygamy before. He knows I am against it, and he said that he was not thinking about it either. The truth is, that he lied to me. He was hoping that by time I'd change my views, or that my love would be so strong that I would compromise and give in. The girl he is talking to now doesn't mind polygamy. He is excited about her. I feel like my soul is crushed. How can you claim to love someone, yet drop them like they never existed? Seems like his love was not as strong or as real. I hate having chest contractions. I hate everything that he has put me through. I can't leave my bed without crying. I am falling behind in school. I blocked him on all social media, except his cell phone number. I just want the courage to do so. Just the thought of me blocking his number means that I'm deleting him from my life forever. I have attachment issues, and when I love so hard and unconditionally. I form strong bonds with people. That's why it's so hard for me to accept that this has to be the end, and that I should eliminate the thought of him being back in my life because I can't do injustice to myself by wasting another 2 years with him. At the same time, my blood boils when I think about how he might be chatting with this girl and entertaining her, while I'm here crying my eyes out until I pass out. I can't get over our memories. I can't get over our good times. That's why I feel that I'm more likely to get back to him. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I feel so weak. He wasn't only my partner, but also my friend that I'd trusted everything with. I wish I could have him back at least as a friend, but that's no good either, because I'd be super jealous about who he is talking to. The only solution is to eliminate the thought of him getting back into my life forever. People who have been cheated on, please help me. I really have no one to talk to and it hurts. Now for the top advice. Sounds like you had a lucky escape. Yikes. So sorry to say this, but you may have been a partner, but he has never been committed to you as you being his partner. You are being manipulated into accepting a two-timing loser. Meet the other girl without him and you'll have a better sense of the dishonesty. He was a lying polygamist. Polygamy is just an excuse for him to do what he wants. He was never really interested in polygamy or any sort of respectful arrangement between consenting partners. He's just a lying piece of crap. You're better without him, trust me. Start living your life. A life free of that seems like a better one to me. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.